Good morning and welcome to the video for Thursday, July the 16th. This is going to be a video for our upcoming third graders. And this is going to finish this idea of working with fractions that we started on the video on Monday. And so for today's video, we're going to be looking at comparing fractions. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple examples. And we start out by using either fraction strips or some kind of picture, and that gives us a better understanding of some of the things that I want to point out. So the more pieces that we cut up something into, let's say whether it's a pizza or we make our fraction strip into more pieces, the more pieces we have, the smaller each individual piece is going to be. And that becomes important when we start looking at fractions. So let's say I want to compare the fraction 2/8 to the fraction 2/3. So my top number, my numerator, is identical. And what I can do is go ahead and color in. I think I'm going to choose green for the top part here. So we can fill this part in green, and I'm going to pick orange for the bottom one. And so if I were writing a comparison this way, starting with 2/8, my 2/8 is going to be less than 2/3 because I have more showing up here. I can do a similar thing using these pictures. So let's say I want to do 3/4 compared to 3/3. Well, if I do 3/4, I'm going to get these three parts filled in. But I am going to end up filling in this entire shape. And so even though I'm using the same number of parts to compare, I'm actually going to be using the entire shape here. So 3/4 is also going to be less than 3/3. If I do this one, let's say I do, let's do one part of each. So I'm going to do 1/6 compared to 1/4. And this is going to be the kind of thing that we start with, where we're going to have the same numerator, and then we have to figure out which piece is going to be bigger. And so the piece of the pie that is only split into 4 parts is going to be larger than the piece of the pie that is split into 6 pieces. And so if I wanted to write this one first, then I would say 1/4 is greater than 1/6. So those are some things that we'll be working with for that. Once we get farther into this, we may also look at what happens if we have the same denominator. Let's say that we're comparing 2/2 to 1/2. When we're working with the same denominator, it's just going to be a matter of whichever number is larger on top is going to work. That's not always going to be the case when we're working with something like this over on the left-hand side. So if I had 2 pieces here, if I had 3 pieces here and I wanted to compare 3/8 to 2/3, what I could do is still keep this the same, but then I could add an extra piece here. And so just because I have a larger number on top for one side than what I have on the other doesn't mean that this side is automatically going to be bigger. That's why we use the fraction strips and pictures to help us along the way. So that kind of covers the extra thing that I wanted to go over with you for today. Hope your summer is going well. Hope this makes sense. We'll be doing a lot of practice with this once we get to that particular part in our math book this year. So hope your summer is going well. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be on Monday.